Oh, hi there. Welcome to Tasty Classics. This is my Triumph Spitfire 1500 that I lovingly restored a little while ago, and I brought it here to our private testing location to see how fast it is. I've got the Tasty Classics stopwatch, and apparently this thing's got 71 horsepower, weighs 790 kilograms, and should do a 0 to 60 time in about 11.5 seconds. The stopwatch doesn't lie. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. No way. Did you hear that then? 3. No way. Did you hear that then?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give us a push. Oh God, I've just broken something quite badly on the Spitfire. It had like a weird problem with the drive shaft, and I think it's just died. I think I just tried to make it do 0 to 60. I think has finally killed it. But that's how you fix old cars. You really push the envelope with them, and then whatever faults are there will make themselves known and present. I guess this is going to be a slightly longer video than I imagined. Just doing a little shot for the last MGB GT video. Rob's been driving this, and I said, let's just do a quick tower of power that we never did before. And I knew it had that drive shaft issue, but it's been working, it's been okay.
She's been a bit funky today, hasn't she? But old cars, what do you expect?
Yeah, so at least we kind of have an aggravated fault now.
Bit more character building coming up, isn't it? So
yeah, how are we gonna get it home? Got to get the trailer.
We're gonna have to go back and get the trailer, I think, aren't we?
Right, okay, let's do that. We'll have to leave it here. At least if anybody tries to nick it, they're not going to get very far, are they? Something's gone wrong there.
You can fuck it up.
Yes, unfortunately the gear's not attached. The Spitfire is up in the air, and I've been looking at what went wrong. If I turn this wheel like so, you can see that the drive shaft, the little half shaft at the end, is rotating all the way into the diff, which is fantastic. It's a bit wet there, but you know, that's fine. The diff is also turning that drive shaft, which is great. But this bit where your wheel bolts on does not turn. Now, if I turn that like your wheel would, that half shaft just stays exactly the same place. Does not move, does not rotate. So something inside this area here is kaput, which means I'm gonna have to strip it down and sort of really try and find out what's going on. I think there's splines on the end of the drive shaft, and they've all stripped and sort of dissolved. So I've got to take this off, take the backing plate thing off, and try and see where it is that's gone wrong. And maybe we just buy a new drive shaft, bolt it on, and then we can take this thing back to the lane and see how fast it is. Problem is though, I've got no idea how to do it. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a look online and see how I get everything off. I think that's just a case of pulling it off its bearing there, and unbolt some more stuff. Men in chat rooms will tell you that you can't just use a normal fingered hub puller on this to get this thing off, which is what I need to do, because you will bend this phalange hub here. So I don't want to do that, although you can buy replacements off rimmers and stuff. It's not crazy expensive, so if I do damage it now, I can get another one. Fortunately though, I have this tool, which I bought recently for the Plymouth. Now, if you remember that one, the specialty here is that these go over your wheel bolts, right? Whereas normal hub pullers go around the back. So if I use this, granted there's only 3 prongs, but hopefully that's going to be more than enough. If I use this, it's going to spread the load a lot more inward rather than clawing it on the outwards. It's going to do it where the wheel bolts are, where all the pressure usually is. So I'm hoping we're not going to have any problems, but I don't know, famous last words and all that. I'm just doing this with my hand, and there is zero resistance. Is that supposed to happen? Okay. Wow. Ugh. Well, I think we found our problem. Well, inside here, it's difficult to see. Hopefully you can see a bit there, but it's very chewed. And that, again, don't know if you can see there, but it is very, very sad, very chewed. And that looks like the remnants of maybe a keyway. God, it's properly eaten. And that's part of the drive shaft. So I'm going to have to continue dismantling and see how far we get, because potentially we're going to need a new drive shaft. But not only that, we're going to need a new one of these, because that is completely toast inside there. Far from ideal. There's also a couple of seals and stuff in there. So when I'm ordering bits, I'm going to order those seals as well to try and keep all that nice and greased and stuff in there. Maybe that's what's happened. Maybe the seals have leaked over time, and there's been no grease and it's got hot and destroyed itself. Feels awfully expensive. Okay, I removed these 4 bolts which hold this sort of seal and stuff all together, and you can see it's all totally dry and goosed in there. Disconnected the handbrake so I was able to slide the drum brake assembly off without actually having to take any of the brake stuff apart, which is great, isn't it? But that is supposed to be a seal, and you can see at some point that's failed, and it has let this drive shaft become sad. And if I can move that, I can just feel and see in there that, yeah, that is all destroyed. So in order to repair this now, I need to buy an all new wheel bearing kit. I do need a new drive shaft because this one has been eaten. I need a trunnion kit for this thing here, for all the seals inside that. And I need a new hub there. All of which will cost me roughly 300-ish quid from Rimmers, which is very reasonable because it's all new reconditioned parts, very good condition. However, I'm just a bit more savvy than that, you know. And I found on eBay, Triumph Spitfire late Mark IV 1500, this one's a 1500, right-hand long drive shaft, which is my car. And it's 38 quid plus postage. It's a no-brainer, and it saves me all the hassle of pressing things in and out. I could literally just unbolt that one, bolt that one back on. So I'm going to order this now, and as soon as it arrives, we'll get this thing put back together. I've got quite a large package, and in other news, this has arrived. This, I'm hoping, is everything we need to get this Spitfire back on the road and on the Tower of Power. Now, this is from a place quite ominously called the Spitfire Graveyard. If you hear any horrendous noises during all this as well, it's because they're having a lot of renovations next door. That's pretty nice. There's no play in this joint here. Everything looks good on there. Obviously, we're going to be taking all the brackets off, but that is turning, no play in it or anything, very nicely. Bearing feels superb, really nice, and can you hear that? Just lovely. Right, I need to strip this thing down, and then we're going to install it on the Spitfire. Immediately, I come across an issue. So I've just come to strip all the brake stuff off this, ready for the other one to go on. However, one thing I didn't account for, because I'm a bit thick, is that when that's on there, you can't get that over. So I'm going to have to strip all of the brake stuff off my nice sort of semi-clean backing plate and all my pipes and stuff and fit them to the new one, which is not ideal because this backing plate's a bit rough, but oh well, whatever. It'll soon get covered in oil from the diff anyway, won't it? This one first. Oh, came off with ease. Ouch. Forgot that was still on there. So that's out the way, and I can get to this one behind it. Having to use all these oldie worldy, old money sockets. Because Spitfire's old. Is this bolt gonna come out, do you think? So it's this bolt I'm trying to get out now, which does hold the sort of main hub bit in there, the bearing carrier. As you can see, it just goes through here, and it's a little bit reminiscent of that Lotus, isn't it, where it doesn't want to shift. Cool. It's not moving an inch. I have found a bolt which could work. The next issue is getting this disc down any side, because that just hits on the body of the grinder. Can't do anything there. Hi, I'm Ben, and I pretty much saw through bolts for a living. It's just how it is. After, quite frankly, a disturbing amount of work, we are now free. As you can see, that's all pretty sad inside there. I'm hoping the bolt that I've got is going to work. All that's left is those there, and then we can put the new one on, and it's just about putting the new one back together with all the new brake stuff, or the new old brake stuff, the brake stuff that was there already. Is it just me who hates drive shaft bolts? You get such a little sort of minimum return for your investment of time, don't you? How do you get that up? How'd you get that out of there then? Can't get that bit through there. I'm gonna have to take this bolt off and see if I can spread that. Come on, Triumph. We're better than this. Why are you being such an absolute faff? Everything is becoming very hard to do all of a sudden. Why? Maybe it doesn't like being beasted from 0 to 60, but well, it's going to happen, I'm afraid. The top bolt for the leaf spring came out quite easily, thankfully. Didn't require much swinging off a hammer at all. And then obviously you can do that, which is perfect, isn't it? So this, I mean, if I could be arsed, I would probably sandblast this and paint it and do all that good stuff, but I can't. So I'm going to throw this in the nearest stream. There's a stream not too far from here, so I'm just going to throw that in there. And then we're going to put the other one through this, bolt this back on, bolt it to the other side of the diff, and then just start rebuilding it. Drive shaft's all buttoned up there, and when you turn it, look, the hub turns. Oh my God, what a time to be alive. Well, I'm going to be straight with you. That was a ball ache job. That was a lot longer than I thought it'd be. Very, very tough to get one of those off that's been on there for a very long time. Difficult, but it's done. That brake is now back together and adjusted up lovely. I had to change the brake adjuster and everything with the old one. Anyway, great, it's done. Now I need to bleed the brakes up, which is one of these things there, but also I've always had a little bit of a problem with the front calipers. I don't quite know what it is. I think it's your standard sort of sticky calipers, but annoyingly when I'm rotating these wheels now, they're absolutely fine. So I think maybe it just wants that little bit of use. But what I'm going to do is when I'm bleeding it up, I'm going to try and move the pistons in and out just to try and help out a little bit. But then we are genuinely ready for the road. How easily are these bleed nipples going to come off? That's the thing, isn't it? Oh, beautiful. Now, I have had these off before. We have done brakes work on this car before, so I was hoping they would undo, and it has. So we'll just see if that starts dripping any fluid. Quite handy thing about Spitfires is if you wanted, you could sort of bleed this yourself just by reaching over and pumping the brake pedal, which is underneath this boot here, which I did do when I was on that side. And there we go, that one's dripping. That's great news. It's got braided flexies on it and stuff as well, so they're all good. It's got braided flexies on the back as well, which is pretty nice. What about your side? While I'm doing this, I thought I would give you a little bit of a sort of channel update, because if you're an avid watcher of this crazy YouTube channel, then you might be wondering, why have it, only put out a couple of short videos and stuff? Well, the reason being, when it just goes a little bit, you've just got to go backwards and forwards, because I don't want to snap that. Just go backwards and forwards, just a little bit. Feels a little bit tight there. Spray a bit more of that on it. Bit of a channel update, right? I've currently got 1, 2 big resurrection videos that I'm filming, but they just take time. Things take time to do. Can't just turn things, especially when I'm spending days working on this thing. Things just take time. And then there's another one under the cover out there, which is mega, which I've also been to collect recently, and that's coming up. So just hold fire, there's going to be some mega resurrection videos coming up soon. But it's just nice to do a bit of housekeeping. I've been getting rid of a couple of the sort of raffle cars like the Lotus and the Golf and stuff. They all went to there. So it just takes time. I had to deliver one down south while I was off doing a family thing, and just, little bits like that. So just bear with us and good things will come. But the real sort of big news is, because there is some very big news, the Focus needs an MOT, right? And I'm going to do a little video of a year's update on that car, of sort of, what's it like underneath since we did all that stuff and painted it and things. And I need you to watch that video, because there's going to be something revealed at the end of that video, okay? Which is super exciting, and the biggest, craziest thing I've ever done. So just hang on for that, okay? And finally, for the little channel update, is I am, remember I said I was going to have a holiday a while ago? Well, I didn't, because we had a couple of issues, family stuff, and had to go and do some things for that, which just meant that going on holiday wasn't really an option. I don't want to go into it, but you get the idea. So that's been postponed, and I am going to the Nürburgring this weekend, which is super exciting. So next week you'll be seeing potentially a couple of incredible videos on the Nürburgring, because we're taking the Porsche, but also, fingers crossed, we're racing around so much at the moment to get another car ready that we're going to be taking, which is one of the fleet, and it has been for a very long time, and I am going to try my best to drive that thing to the Nürburgring. So just hang on for that. You will see that in the next week or so. But the good news is this caliper bleed nipple has undone. So right, I'm going to get these blood up and then we'll hit the road. These are the current standings on the ever-growing Tower of Power 0 to 60 side. We'll be adding a couple over that side soon. But that is where the MGB is, right? Between the Triumph Vitesse and between the Copen. The Copen was the big the Vitesse, sorry, was the big 2 litre 6-cylinder. So surely this one's going to be down here somewhere. I'd imagine it's going to be, that's my guess, sort of around this area. Between the Copen and the Citroen is my guess, but what do you think? The pride of the fleet is back to rude health once again. What a palaver, honestly. Just, you know, thanks Spitfire, needed that, that was good. Occasionally I do have to do a bit of maintenance on the fleet myself. But I don't mind it sometimes. It's nice to sort of get back in touch with the Spitfire, really, and use it. But first stop is the petrol station. We're going to put some high performance, high octane motion lotion in, and we're going to see how fast this thing goes. Finally get her on the Tower of Power, one of the oldest cars in the fleet, and she's never been on there. Sorry about all the noise in here, it's a very noisy car and I've got the window open. But this Triumph Spitfire should have, when it was brand new, Triumph Spitfire 1500, roughly 70 horsepower. Now, I don't know how much of that it's lost over the past 50 odd years, but I would imagine a fair bit. So, like, it does seem that pulling the skin off rice pudding would be a hard day at the office for it. But I still want to get as best time as I can. But the main thing is it will sit at 70 all day long. It's absolutely fine, it's not laboured, it's just, it does what it does. It just doesn't get there particularly quickly. And it's powering the rear wheels as well, you've got to remember. So there's quite a lot of losses through that drive chain. And don't forget as well, there probably isn't any oil in the diff. No, it's fine, there's oil in there, it's all right, it's okay. It's leaking, so there must be. On the way here, I've calibrated the speedo using the Speedo app on my phone, and what I've determined is that 60 mile an hour is brought to you at an indicated wind speed of about 66 on the very accurate Smith's gauges, which are never very accurate. So that's what we've got to aim for, about 65, 66 mile an hour. That's when we'll be hitting 60 in real life. Second time lucky? I hope so. I hope we don't strip the other one, touch wood. I'm using the handbrake to stop as well because I don't want to, the brake calipers are still a little bit sticky. They're all right, but just not, I don't want any chance of this 0 to 60 not being its best. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, bit of wheel spin. Bit of a crunch into second, straight into third. That is not a fast car. It's not meant to be, it's meant to be fun, not fast. But let's try and get some better times than that though, eh? I wonder if the back end will step out on these slippy leaves here. Kind of, yeah. Front end stepped out first, unfortunately. Right, hey! Oh, that's an awful time to beat. Okay, are we sitting comfortably? 3, 2, 1. Big wheel spin. In my defence as well, it's raining. Does choke help? Stayed in second for longer, come on. No, choke doesn't help. Just thinking about extra fuel delivery. even get in there, come on! Oh, that's awful. That is awful. Oh my God. I just told Joe the time and he can't quite believe it. He's going to wait for this other car that's using our private test track as well. I pulled the choke out then just because I was worried, was it getting enough fuel, and I was just trying to give it a little bit extra. That didn't work, so we're not going to do that again, because obviously when you're doing that, I think you're cutting off the air quite badly as well, so you need more airflow, and just it's worth having a little try, but it did not work. So this time, she's running nice. Let's see if we can do a better time. Just shake those calipers loose. Okay, that's it, we're rolling nicely. 2, 1. Better start. Come on, baby, come on! Come on! No, nowhere near, nowhere near. Come on, baby. I know it sounds like racing driver excuses as well, but every little thing matters with this car. It is very windy, and going this way, it's noticeably a bit windier, annoyingly. It is fun to drive though. Trying to find out where the sweet spot is on the throttle as well. Just shake those calipers loose properly, come on. Okay, that's rolling nicely. Right, I'm going to change up a lot better, and I'm going full throttle, and then I'm like, is that good? Is it's flooding the engine? Carburetors, it's not a switch. I know I keep saying it, but carburetors are not a switch. It's not full throttle and you go. You have to meter it yourself a little bit if you want to get the best times, and it's easier said than done when you're not as used to the car. I mean, I've driven it a lot, but not for a while, you know. Rob drove it last time, hence why the gearbox crunches a lot now. Good news is the drive shaft's working though. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. This feels better, come on. Oh yeah, loads better. Loads better. Yes, yes, right. I found a sweet spot of the throttle. I found it. That time was a lot better. Not great, but a lot better. Maybe if I got out and walked alongside it, it'd be quicker. 3, 2, 1. No, I could say it bogged down. It's going to be the last time now because I'm going to blow something up, surely. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, come on, come on. Not quite as good as the last one. I think we've got our mark. It's more of a reliability challenge this now, isn't it? I've got to do one more. I've got to find out if I can beat that. Three, 2, 1. Quick shifts, come on. Oh, I did beat it. I did beat it. Oh, yes, come on. It's all about the one more, isn't it? Oh, you beauty. I mean, it's not great, but it's all right. We've got the best time that I think we're going to achieve in this little thing, but I mean, what she has proved is she is now reliable again, which is great news. Anyway, let's get back to the workshop. Remember, that's not accurate, you know. Hi, it's me, VoiceOver Ben. Just a quick one. If you fancy your own, like, classic car to, you know, rag around the back lanes and stuff, you could do worse than to enter the Tasty Classics raffle for the MGB, which has got 2 days and 22 hours. This will be even less when you view it, because the video is not going to be out till tomorrow, so it'll probably be like 1 day, but the MGB that's in the workshop, which you saw in the last video, is due to end by then, so you could stick your pound in the machine and you might be able to win this. Alternatively, if you want to support the channel in another way, you don't have to, but if you do want to, you can buy some stuff to like stick on your own classic car. So we've got like Tasty Classic stickers, we've got air fresheners, we've also got these nice Austin logo ones which you can put on your rocker cover and stuff, like I did with the Metro. You've got mugs. There's not many of these mugs left, and we're going to water bottles after this, so get one of those before they go. We like to change it up quite often. And you've got the new sticker book as well, 25-26 sticker book with the sticker packs. That's really cool. That's all the cars that we've done on the channel. And there's still some stock of some bits that, there you go, that's trans fail-safe mode from the BMW, that we do when we do sort of like specific ones for specific cars, specific merch, specific cars. Anyway, winter's coming up. Look how warm the top of my head is there because of this. You could buy one of those for £19.99, and they're superior quality. They're very, very nice things. Anyway, if you don't mind doing that, that'd be cool, but again, you don't have to if you don't want to, and instead, you could just hit the subscribe button. That'd be pretty cool. Thank you very much. Bye. So, where did she come? Well, I was in the right area, but it's a fair bit slower. My lovely little Triumph Spitfire 1500 from 1975 did it in 16.79 seconds. That was the absolute best I could get out of it. I think maybe if it was less windy, maybe if it was less wet, I might have got a little bit better, but that is the best. What I do think though is it could really do with like a bit of a carb sort of freshen up and a bit of a tune up, maybe a bit of a balance. When I built that car, I did balance the carbs. I've got a little Gunson carb balancing machine thing over there, and I did do that, and it does drive absolutely perfectly, but it's just, you've got to be so careful where you put your foot on the throttle just to make it, you know, give it its sort of maximum power. So I think it could do with some sort of mixture of air setup, that type of thing. I don't know, but we could have a look at that in another episode, another day maybe. But for now, the Spitfire's finally on the board, and it's reliable and I can use it again. See you soon. Bye.